All right. What's up, people? This is Jose Trujillo, the world's greatest living artist. I'm here in my studio, and yeah, just kind of kicking it here, you guys. What's up? Waiting for my coffee. I'm waiting for some of that coffee, man, to show up. Oh, feeling sleepy. I didn't sleep that much. Well, I guess I did. I don't know. I think I did sleep some. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep as much as I wanted to sleep. We'll put it that way. So yeah, I'm here. I've been thinking about this thing that I was. I've been thinking about this thing that I was thinking about. How's that? The world's greatest artist. Yeah, hell yeah, I love that. What's happening, beautiful people? So I was thinking about this thing about inspiration and you know, time and all these things. It's going great. Thank you so much. What's happening, Chris? This whole idea of I don't have time. I don't have inspiration. I don't have discipline. I don't have style. All these things. In reality, all those things don't really matter. You know. And you shows your palette and process for storing paint. Yeah, I don't store paint. I use it all. But I'll definitely show you the palette. I use all the paint. But yeah, look, this whole idea of I don't have time. I don't have inspiration. I don't have all these things. They're not lining up for me as an artist. Really, what it means is, I think, this has been true in my case. The real problem is none of those things. The real problem is the negative self-talk, the constant negative self-talk of not being enough, not having enough, whatever it is, right? Whether it's time, whether it's skills, inspiration. For those of you who are artists who are looking to create a living creating artwork, maybe you don't have enough income, maybe you don't have enough resources, maybe you can't run ads, maybe you can't hire people, and all these things, right? Of not enough. That's not really the deal. The deal is that you're running a negative commentary and telling yourself that it's not enough. Let's read some of these comments. We have watching Jose, the world's greatest living artist. Soy mexicano, amigo, pero vivo aquí en Arizona, en los Estados Unidos. So that's pretty much what I've been thinking about lately. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, please do let me know. I pray for you. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And so that's ultimately the thing, that we're going through something, whatever that journey is. In my case, I'm an artist, right? I'm looking to create artwork and support my family and myself. And so that is a different journey than an artist who's looking to create artwork for just creating artwork, or maybe supporting themselves. I have different pressures, right? The pressures of paying a studio and you know, taking care of my family and now that I'm thinking about scaling, right, growing my studio, what is that going to mean, and all these things. It's different. Everybody has different pressures in life, but ultimately it's the same thing. Ultimately, it's the commentary that you're telling yourself. And I'm not trying to be Mr. Tony Robbins or any of those people. It's not my gig. But I do have this belief that the great part of the deal is just the mental. Probably most of it it's the mental. This is not to downplay all the other things, such as community, you know, friends, resources, all these things. The things that this book Outliers talks about very well. That it's a multitude of things, right? When you're making something work, it's a multitude of things. It's not just Oh, because I work so hard because I'm a badass, or because I don't know, maybe you got lucky, or no, it's a multitude of things. I think luck plays into it. The fact that I still have these two bad boys, right? If I didn't have them, well, that would be right. God forbid an accident or something, or if they just, if my health, right? If my health wasn't on point, and it's not that it's on point, but it's good. I could probably lose a few pounds, but it's good. And so I think about all these things, like all these things help, right? All these things help. The the main thing though, it's the attitude. It's the attitude. God forbid. The main thing is the attitude. If you have, even if your health is not there, even if your resources aren't there, you can still make the best of it, whatever that is, you know. And if for any reason you can't, then that's fine. We can sit and we can sit in not doing also. That's also good. It's not just doing. It's just that for many of us, doing is such an important part of our lives, right? It's we're identified with this idea of doing. I gotta do more. I come to my studio and I'm like, I gotta paint and do. But there's moments where we're not doing. It's okay too, you know. Not doing is fine, as long as you're okay with it. As long as you're okay with it. If you're at home or you're somewhere else and you tell yourself, I gotta be doing something right now, then that's not how it works, because they're just torturing yourself. So again, it goes back to the negative self-talk. You know, you are where you're supposed to be, and that's something hard to swallow sometimes, or many times. Whatever stage of your career or your life you're in, you're where you're supposed to be. So no, it's not that you don't have inspiration. And I think inspiration it's a cop out. I think everybody seems to go after that. Like, I don't paint because I'm not inspired, or I'm waiting to have a certain inspiration. No, you just create. And if you don't have original ideas, that's okay. You keep creating, you know, and whatever you call original ideas, or those things usually are slow burn. They don't happen right away. They take time. They take patience. They take experience, and on and on. And so no, you're not gonna wake up one day probably and have this aha of original ideas. I don't think that's how it works. I think it works through the doing, the act of doing. You know, you keep doing, and then out of, I don't know, 100 bad ideas, you get something okay in there, and then, you know, you just kind of keep moving that way. It's about, the way I look at it, it's like 5 steps forward and 3 back. That seems to be the rhythm. You know? Move 5 steps forward and then 3 back, and then just kind of keep repeating that loop. You're really moving. Ultimately you're moving 2 steps forward every time, but it looks like you're moving a lot more sometimes than you really are. So setbacks aren't really setbacks and that type of deal. We make the best of what we have. It's the secret of happiness. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's the shit you're telling yourself, right? It's whatever commentary you got in your mind. And it doesn't matter what it is. Everybody, you know, everybody's telling themselves some sort of commentary. What I like to remind myself and other artists is, if you can avoid the negative self-talk, or if you can watch it at least when it's happening, you know, watch it when it's happening. Like, realize, oh, okay, I'm saying negative things right now about my position, or about my career, my life, about me. You know, sometimes you could be painting and you could be telling yourself, it's just not good enough. I'm not good enough. Or if I had a studio as large as Jose, I used to say all this dumb shit all the time. You know, if I had more resources, if I had more employees, if I had, and from time to time I catch myself still saying dumb shit. And then I have to kind of pause and take a breath and realize that's not the solution. That's not the solution. The solution is the solution is embracing what's in front of you, fully embracing it. That's always the solution. Embrace what's in front of you, and as you embrace that, you kind of, it's like a catalyst. It opens for more starts coming in. Whatever you're looking for starts coming in. But if you don't embrace it, there's just no way. You're always stuck in a loop, like Groundhog Day. People are always ready to criticize. Yeah. Monique Monday says, I call it self-destructive because too much comparison. Yeah, you start comparing yourself with, or you start competing also. You start not just comparing, but competing with people that are either doing better than you, or people that are next to you, or people that you think are catching up to you. I don't want people catching up to me. You know, it's all this comparison, that it's just it's nonsense. It's just the mind's always looking for some sort of problem. It likes drama, you know. Your mind, my mind, all mind likes drama. It's how it feeds. It feeds off of drama. If you take away drama from it, it becomes a little bit irritated first, but then it becomes quiet. When it becomes quiet, that's the place you want to be. At least find that place every now and then. I know that it's not everybody's. You know, we're not all Zen monks or whatever religion you have, or some sort of a saint or good person in every religion. We're not all that, but we can all experience that from time to time, especially when it gets loud, right? When it gets very loud. Rather than smoking something, or drinking, mitigating it, some sort of drug or something. Rather than just running after something like that, maybe silence the mind a little bit. Can I silence my mind a little bit? And the way that I've learned to do that is just to look at it. You don't have to be like, oh, I gotta silence it. No, just look at it. Just acknowledge that you're having these thoughts, and let them be there. Let them dwell, but look at them, right? With your awareness. You're not looking with your eyes. You're like, oh, right now I'm experiencing negative self-talk. Interesting. What am I saying to myself? You just look at it, and when you look at it, it's like throwing a flashlight at night to, like, in a city or somewhere, a bunch of roaches. You know, they don't know what to do with themselves. They start running away. You roaches, I hate roaches. But that's the idea that I get out of it. So you're throwing a flashlight at your mental roaches. You throw a flashlight and they disappear. They disappear because the two things can't exist. Those two things can't exist together. Your awareness of knowing that you're having these thoughts and having the thoughts at the same time. They can't live together, not even for a millisecond. They can't. Once you're aware that you're having the thoughts, you step away from the thought. You may not realize this, but you're stepping away from the thought. Or to put it in the other example that I gave, you're cutting through the noise, or you're cutting through the darkness, right? You're throwing a flashlight, and so every chance you got, when things aren't going your way, just look at your negative self-talk. It's always negative self-talk. It's never not negative self-talk. It's not your circumstances. Again, it's not that you don't have enough resources, or you don't have enough time, or none of that is true. It looks like that's true because that would be the solution, right? Like, come on, Jose, you're trying to tell me that if I didn't have more time, I wouldn't paint more. Yes, Pragmatically, that's the solution. But experientially, that is not the solution. Pragmatically, it is. Logically, it is. That is the solution. Yes, if you had more money, of course you would spend more. If you had more time, of course you would spend more, right? It's logically, that is a solution, but it's not experientially. Experientially, the solution is to grab the little bit of time that you have, right, and embrace the shit out of it. Like, get it and be like, this is the time I got. This is good enough. The little bit of money that you got as an artist or whatever, this is what I got. This is good. This is good. This is good right here for me. This is a good start, right? The little bit of skill that you have as an artist, maybe you can't draw like Da Vinci or whatever, or John Singer Sargent. Doesn't matter. You don't need to. Again, pragmatically, yes, if you drew like John Singer Sargent, a lot of people would pay attention to you. Yes, but that is not experiential. That's not how life works. The experience of life doesn't work that way. You get your little doodle, right? You get your little doodle. Is that a doodle? I think that's a doodle. Yeah. And put two legs. You get your little doodle and you make the best of it. And you make the best of it, because this is where you're supposed to be right now. Whatever it is. However you draw, however you paint, that's the place where you're supposed to be. And if you cannot accept that, if you cannot accept that this is where you're supposed to be, forget about anything else coming in. They can't. You're suppressing it. You're choking it. You're choking it. It can't come in. Nothing more can come in. Sages throughout history have gotten what is considered a little bit, right? I can think of one, fish and bread, I think it was. And the first thing that all these sages do is bless it. Right? The very first thing they do is acknowledge that this is good. But yes, it'd be great if I had tons of food for all these people. But this, whatever it's right here, this is the starting point. Whatever it is, and if there's nothing here, it's also good. If there's nothing there, it doesn't matter. The quantity doesn't matter. What matters is the full embracing the fullness of whatever is there. And so, easier said than done, right? Easier said than done, but it's easy. It's easy to do too. It's not rocket science, and we don't have to flip backwards to practice any of these things. Let's see. There's this love. This cockroaches hate the light. Shine the light on them. Yeah, that's what our little thoughts, right? I don't have time. I'm not good enough yet. Or sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it won't be like, you may not use negatives like that. But the mind is very astute. It's very astute. It knows that it's very intelligent, and it knows your levels, your pH levels. Let's call it that. It knows, and so it won't blatantly show itself. It won't, because if it shows itself, you can shine light on it. It's that's why in many traditions it's called the deceiver, right? The devil, the deceiver, or it's called the liar, right? Very astute. It's very astute, and because it's survival, it's drama. It needs to feed on drama. Oh, I ordered it already. It's on its way. Oh. Yeah. So it's food is drama, and if it shows itself, if it overtly comes out and be like, yeah, here I am, it knows you can shine light on it. So sometimes you want, if you're a very smart person or a person who's been dealing with that for a long time, as most human beings, probably 99.9% of human beings, it won't show itself like that. It'll show itself in, but, I got time, but you're going to start using the word but a lot. Or things like, it's all that half empty, half full type of deal, but it's going to lean more towards the negative more often than not. Like, yes, my style is good, but I just think but again, I think that I need to work on this more. and there's always some sort of dissatisfaction. It's okay to work on things. I think it's important. It's okay to progress and to say, okay, I need work here. But pay attention to it. Is everything that you're thinking or saying always less than? Does it lean more towards not enough? And pay attention to your feeling too. Is there dissatisfaction throughout your day as you're creating artwork or as you're doing your life, whatever it is? Because if it's more negative than positive, then that means that's where you're dwelling. That's what it means. You're dwelling on the negative more. You're dwelling on the lack. You're dwelling on the lack, and the lack is what keeps you there. Like it's the funniest shit, right? It's the I'm gonna eat something, but I don't have food. But I want to eat something, but I don't have food. And this is what you keep doing. I want to eat something, but there's nothing here. But oh, I'm hungry, but you keep reminding yourself, but there's nothing here, or there's very little. There's not enough. There's not enough. And so here's where I come in with my F-bombs. So how in the fuck are you going to get more? If all you keep looking at it's not there isn't enough. How? It's impossible. It's impossible to look at opportunity. It's impossible to let things cook. It's impossible to allow anything. It's like standing in the doorway and saying the door is closed. It's closed. It's locked. Or there is no way through here. Why? Because I'm standing in the doorway. There's no way through. I keep standing in the doorway. Get me anything, mija. I'm okay with anything. I got us some coffee and a couple of bakeries. Bakery? Yeah. Pastry. Is it pastry? Yeah. What makes a painting special? You make it special. What's happening, Angela? And so, yeah. Here, I think the coffee's here. Let me see if my coffee's here. And so, it's just a little reminder. Dude, where's my coffee at? It's just a little reminder that here it is. Thank you so much, my man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
You too.
I love the guard dog.
Oh, thank you. It's my gargoyle. Dude, victory. Got the coffee. What's up, Sonic? So yeah, I guess it's, what do people say? Count your blessings, that type of deal. Whatever helps you, But just a reminder, whatever shit is going on in your life is, I know it's like we've all heard this, but it doesn't bother to remind each other. It's not what's happening. It's how you react to what's happening. No, it's not, it's the commentary. It's the commentary. The commentary is what makes it hard to deal with. It makes it very heavy to carry. And so if you look at the commentary drops, right? If the commentary drops, then it becomes lighter. You can deal with things. You can't deal with things that are not there. You can't deal with things that are like, I'm not a good artist. How in the hell do you deal with that? I don't have enough followers on Instagram. Okay. How do you deal with that? Even if you start getting followers or you start doing the right things or whatever it is, and you roll up your sleeves, you can't deal with that because it's a future thing. You can't deal with future. You can't deal with past. You can't deal with it, any of it. You can only deal with what's in front of you. And so even if you're going after something, you're like Don Quixote fighting windmills. You're not dealing with reality. You're dealing with ideas, perceptions, with what I like to call mindfucks. That's what you're dealing with. I like to call it. Anyways, enough of this. I'm gonna get some coffee, you guys. Anybody would like some coffee? My wife got the iced coffee. Boom. I get the hot coffee. Look at this. It's spilled all over the place, huh? But you know what? It's here. Tastes like heaven. Heaven in a cup. Yes, please. Coffee's heaven in a cup, you guys. Heaven in a cup. I need my Americano. I love Americano. Un Americano, por favor. An Americano. That's all I would drink for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. That's all I drank, Americanos. And then I would drink one right before going to bed. Can you believe that? But I never got jittery. I don't know why. There's some really good coffees out there with very little acidity. That it just tastes so good. I'm a coffee fan. I'm not a coffee connoisseur, but I am a fan of coffee. I think coffee and I are like this. We're homies. You know? Look. What does it say? What does it say? Support our homies. Are you saving this one? I am. I'm gonna put it here on the wall, and I'm gonna shoot it over to YouTube, and then you guys can watch it if you want later on. I'm gonna get to work, guys. But I just wanted to show up and remind people this. I remind people this not because I'm like, I'm so above. No, because I go through this shit too. So as I'm going through this shit, I'm like, as I'm resolving this myself, I'm like, how can I share it with someone else? Maybe someone else could, is also going through some of this. So peace out. Stay well and sophisticated, everyone.